Hey, and welcome to Toria Talk Tuesday. I'm super excited about what I'm talking about today. So, last week I spent most of the week at youth camp with my church, and it was so awesome. God did some amazing things on that trip, not only in the hearts of youth, but also in me. I wasn't expecting, I think, how much God moved, how much He showed up. I mean, I was expecting it in the kids, but I could almost say God did just as much, if not. That camp was probably more for me than it was the kids. I don't know. I mean, great things happened in their life, but I was blown away by all that God did in my life. I mean, He did so much so I don't think I can fit it all in one video, so I may have to do a couple more because no one wants to sit and listen to a ridiculously long video. Nobody's got time for that. So we're going to have to break it up piece by piece. So I'm just going to jump in, just go for it, and we'll see what I have to do in next videos. One huge thing that God did for me and in me up on the mountain is He kind of showed me how important my message is. So throughout the week of camp, there was different things between insecurity was brought up, our identity was brought up, and then there was a workshop for, like, it talked about Gen Z in relation to smartphones and social media and how that played into a lot of our comparison and insecurity and things like that. And it was kind of thing after thing after thing. And then the final day is camp testimonies. And I sat and I listened as a ton of testimonies, and one of them, almost word for word, talked about unmasking and talked about having this fake persona up and having to kind of peel that back, and the beauty that happened when they were brave enough to kind of say, you know what, I'm not going to live my life because of what other people think, or what I think other people are going to think. Like, I'm going to live it as my true identity. I'm going to live it for God. And some amazing stuff happens when we do that. And the thing with Gen Z specifically, it's pretty strong with millennials too. But so I'm a millennial. Some people will argue I'm a Gen Z, but I would consider myself more millennial. I have more millennial tendencies. I'm more lean that way than into the Gen Z. And when I was like in middle school, I didn't have a smartphone. I didn't have access to social media. That wasn't a thing in middle school. I think junior high is probably when it came around, but not in middle school. Like, that wasn't a thing. But nowadays, kids can have it before middle school, or they'll get it in middle school, and they have social media. And the thing with that is, social media in itself is not bad, but it opens up this door to where I can jump on social media and I can see what someone's doing in Europe or Australia or Canada or across the US, where when I was younger, I can't even compare myself to someone in the next state over. Like, it was who went to my school or who was around me in my neighborhood. It wasn't like I could just look at this endless possibility of all these other people, and I wasn't looking at this, like, social media and saying, oh, I need my feed to look this way or be aesthetically pleasing and all this stuff. And the problem with social media is we all, a lot of us, it's big with Gen Z, but even millennials, even I've seen it happen to parents and grandparents. You get on social media and you're striving for these likes and for this acceptance, and and then once you reach it, you still feel empty. It doesn't deliver what we wanted. It doesn't deliver that feeling of acceptance. And I think there's a couple reasons behind that. One of which is, so if social media is this mask in a way, you're trying to be something you're not, you're trying to just play into what's popular, you're just trying whatever you can to get the likes, and it's not really you. You can get those likes. It's not going to mean anything because it's not who you are. You may get the likes, but then you're sitting there and that's not because they like you for you. They like your appearance. They like what you're putting on. You're saying, I should dress this way, act this way, say this thing because that's what's popular. That's what people like. And then when you do that and you do get the likes, you don't feel any better about yourself because it's not you they're liking. It's your false personality. And then on top of that, we're striving for acceptance. We want, to be noticed. We want to be loved. We want someone to like our posts. We want attention. And we're looking for it in all the wrong places because people are fickle. Like, one minute someone's going to love your Instagram account and you post one wrong thing and they hate you all of a sudden. Have you seen maybe a pop star or someone like that will be like, going up steadily, like they're at the top of the charts, they're doing great, and they make one wrong comment, and then they're despised by the rest of the world. All of a sudden, they were doing great, and then now they're at the bottom, all because of one comment they said. And that's the thing. It's up and down, and it flows, and it's up and down, and it's not consistent. And if you want that void filled. We want that acceptance. We want that. The only place that is consistent, the only place you can always find that is God. Because I have just experienced massive rejection. So my fiance walked away from me. I'm not going to get into the reasons why, not necessarily bad reasons, not a bad dude. But whenever you are walked away from in any relationship, a friendship, a parent, a romantic relationship, whatever it is, you are left feeling rejected. And yet in this state of rejection, I still feel whole. I don't feel empty. I still feel satisfied with who I am because I know that my God sent his son to die for me. He thought I was at least important enough to shed the blood of his son. I know he made me his masterpiece. I know he chose to create me. I know that no matter how much I mess up, no matter what dumb decisions I make, no matter how much I fumble the ball, no matter what dumb thing I post on social media, he still loves me and he still loves you. That is where our acceptance has to come from. That's where our identity has to come from. And when we look for it in social media, it's not going to fulfill us at all. It's not going to do anything because we've created this shell of us. And so it's not, even when you get the likes, you're not getting it for you if you've made this mask or this artificial personality on social media. And sometimes this even leaks into our own lives. And I can touch more on that later in a different video. But today I really wanted to hit just kind of social media on the head. And it's not a bad thing. It can be used for good things. And I actually highly encourage you guys, look at your social media account and say, what do people see when they look at it? Is it truly who I am? Do they see a false representation of me? What do people think when they see your social media account? Do they see you? Do they see someone else who doesn't even exist? Do they see God? What do they see? Ask yourself, what do people see when they look at my social media? And also, I encourage you guys, with your social media, do good things with it. Go encourage others, compliment others, put good and positive things on social media because it can be used for great things. And stop comparing yourself when you see someone else whose life seems to be going great because it's their highlight reel. We all know it. And we still look at it and we're still like, oh, my life's not going as good as theirs. Or like, we will argue with ourselves all day long based off something we saw off social media that's probably produced. It's probably prettier. It's probably well thought through. That's not what they look like on a normal daily basis. I mean, I'll admit some of even my stuff, like, if it's a picture, sometimes it's the second or third picture. It's not always the first. And you guys know I try and do these in one take. These are always one take. I promise you, these are one take. I never redo them. One take videos because I like the authenticity of it. But yeah, you can look at my social media and you're still not going to know who I am by it just because it's social media. You only get to see a fraction of a person. So stop comparing yourself to them and go check what your social media says you are all about. So that's what I have for you guys today. Next week, I'll be probably talking more about what happened at camp. So much happened. It's going to take a couple videos to get through. But today, I really, really, really wanted to touch on social media. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will catch you next week.